Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, my name is Edward Smith and welcome to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at 5 mistakes that a lot of beginners and rookies make when they first start out recording vocals in their home studio setup environment. Because I remember when I started out, I really struggled to get good sounding vocals because I skipped a lot of these simple steps that really help you get a professional vocal, a quality vocal that you can actually work with when it comes to producing your song and mixing. But before we jump into things, I'd first like to thank our sponsor for today's video, DistroKid. For those of you that don't know what DistroKid is, it's a service that you can use to get your music out on the biggest platforms out there like Apple Music and Spotify, and it's a great place for beginner artists looking to make music in their home studio environment and get it out into the world onto these big platforms. I've been using DistroKid for the last 2 years now, and I've even got on some big playlists because of the features and the accessories that come with the platform of DistroKid that allow you to actually promote your own music and build an audience and really become your own independent artist. If you're someone that's interested in getting your music out on these big platforms for only 20 bucks a year with unlimited uploads, use my link down in the description below and you'll get 7% off your first year's membership. So getting back to the video, the first mistake that a lot of beginners make when they first start recording vocals in their home studio environment is not having a look at their microphone first and setting it up correctly. And what I mean by this is when you purchase a microphone, whether it's $80, $90, $100, a lot of them come with a whole bunch of switches and options that include polar patterns, attenuation switches, and roll-off switches. And if you don't have these things set up correctly, you're not going to get a good sounding vocal. In this case, this microphone has 3 different polar patterns: an omnidirectional polar pattern picking up sound all the way around it, a bidirectional polar pattern picking up sound from either side, and a unidirectional polar pattern picking up sound from the front. And in your case, if you're starting out, you need to make sure that you have your microphone set up in a unidirectional polar pattern picking up your voice correctly from the front with all the switches turned to 0. You don't want to have your roll-off switched on or your attenuation switched on, especially if you are a beginner. Rather fiddle with those things in your software first until you really understand your microphone, and then you can start setting this up perfectly for your voice and your setup. The second mistake that a lot of beginners make when they first start recording vocals in their home studio environment is not using a pop filter. And I know that a lot of you are already using a pop filter, but I'm sure there's some of you that don't even know what it is used for, why you need it, why would you spend money on something so simple. And the truth is, this is one of the most important things you're gonna need to get good quality vocals. The reason I say that is getting a pop filter, which is this round screen right in front of the microphone here, is to ensure that you don't have any plosives going onto your microphone. Plosives are sounds that you say that have a lot of wind behind them that blow onto the microphone and distort in your audio tracks that you record later on. With that audio, you can't do anything. So to ensure that you have no air blowing with P's and B's and those kinds of sounds, we use a pop filter, put it in front of the microphone, and helps to make sure that we don't have issues later on when we're mixing our song. The second reason a pop filter is also awesome, and it's not really the purpose of a pop filter, is that distance that it gives you between the microphone. A pop filter is amazing for this because a lot of us, when we are singing without one, we tend to get close to the microphone, and with the proximity effect that a microphone has, the closer you get, the more low end you're going to get, and the further away you get from it, the more high end you're going to get. And you want to be in the perfect space from that microphone to get a clear, crisp vocal. And this pop filter ensures that you don't go too close to the microphone, but it also ensures that you aren't too far away and that you're in a healthy, good place to get a good sounding vocal. Moving on to the third mistake that a lot of beginners make when they start recording vocals, and that is recording your vocals too hot. And what I mean by that is actually just recording your vocals too loud. When you have your microphone plugged into your audio interface and everything is set up, you by accidentally or on purposely are turning up your audio interface's volume, and it's starting to distort and it's coming in way too loud. And the thing that you need to know about this that is really important is when you record a vocal, the audio that goes in, there is nothing you can change about that audio. It is the way it is. So if you're recording your vocals way too loud and it starts distorting, it is game over for that audio quality. You cannot change it. The better thing to do is to drop your audio quality and record softer rather than louder, so that you can actually amp it up and change it with effects, because that is definitely a safer option to go for if you still want to have vocals you can actually use later on. The fourth mistake that a lot of beginners make when they first start recording vocals in their home studio studio environment is recording in an acoustically untreated room. The reason this is so bad for vocal recording is the fact that sound bounces off everything. Any wall, any room, any floor. And when you are in a home studio environment, especially starting out as a beginner, you're so worried about your gear and how good that sounds that you forget about acoustic treatment. Whether you're recording vocals in your closet, up against your clothes, or maybe have a few blankets hanging around, anything you can do to absorb sound will be essential to you getting a good sounding vocal in your home studio environment. And the fifth and final mistake a lot of beginners make when they first start recording vocals in their home studio environment is not setting up their project in a way that will give you the best performance possible and best experience possible when it comes to recording vocals. And what I mean by this is, when you have your audio track set up and ready to go, don't just jump straight into the booth and start recording. Make sure that your track has everything it needs, from a little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb, a compressor. These small things will really help you get a much better performance and experience, because it will feel like you are having these effects working. Even though they're not affecting your audio, it's gonna give you a much better sound and feel when you're recording your vocals, and it's gonna get a much better performance at the end of the day. It's not really a mistake or something that you have to do, but it's definitely something that's gonna help you get a better result and a better performance out of a vocalist, especially if you're doing it in a home studio environment. So that brings this video to an end of 5 mistakes a lot of beginners make when they first start recording vocals, and mistakes that you can start avoiding right now. If you have any questions about today's video, just leave a comment down below and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you loved it, subscribe down below, and I will see you for another video next time. Ooh.